Welcome friends to another video, and today I'm going to talk about the amazing French house of Caron, and this is their Yuzu Man fragrance. A fragrance that was launched in 2011. The perfumier behind this one is the in-house perfumier, Richard Frasset, and this is one impressive fragrance from this house. I've seen a lot of people complaining about the poor performance of Yuzu Man. I've seen a lot of people complaining about the poor sillage of the fragrance. But unfortunately, or better said, fortunately, I'm not one of them. Because this fragrance on my skin, it's one of the best fragrances, best fresh fragrances that I ever owned. It's almost a monster type of a scent on my skin. We get a very beautiful combination of notes. The main accords are yuzu and fig in this one. So if you love yuzu fragrances, or if you love fig fragrances, then this one is a fragrance that you're gonna love also. It's not unique. I find a lot of similarities with other fragrances, for example with Acqua di Parma Fico di Amalfi, with Guerlain Acqua Allegoria Limon Verde. Also, I do find similarities with Ferrari Noble Fig, and also with two female fragrances, the first one being Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue, and also Lanvin Éclat d'Arpège for her. The main similarity being the type of fig found in this fragrance, in Yuzu Man, that can also be found in those one. It's a very fruity, very creamy, very delicious, very gourmandy type of fig. So for that, I love the scent. Also, be aware of the fact that the yuzu note in Yuzu Man isn't your usual men's yuzu, like you find in, I don't know, l'Odyssée pour homme yuzu from Issey Miyake. This note, the yuzu note, it's a very interesting note that can be found in Japan. It's a very interesting fruit actually, but it has a tendency to smell like mandarin combined with lemon. So in this fragrance, it tends to lean more on the mandarin side of the fruit and not on the lemony side of the fruit. Still, we do have something that's, let's say, balancing this note in this fragrance, and it's the note of lemon verbena. So we have in the top notes yuzu, lemon verbena and basil. In the heart we have mastic and fig, and in the base we have cedar and sandalwood. It's a very beautiful, fresh, aromatic, fruity, and at the same time woody type of fragrance. It starts very powerful in the opening with a huge blast of yuzu, and also with a very beautiful combination between the lemon verbena and the basil, which let's say gives an impression of let's say zestiness, if you want, to the whole opening. It's very aromatic, very refreshing, very luminous, very brightful at the same time. And then afterwards you get the main accord, or at least this is on my skin, the main accord, which is the fig note. A very creamy, very beautiful, fruity fig that combines with the very beautiful yuzu note from the opening. And because the yuzu note in this one, on my skin at least, it tends to lean more to the mandarin side, the whole heart of this fragrance is actually a fruity heart. We get there some mastic behind, which is a aromatic resin, but its influence in the composition, it's almost unnoticeable, if you want. And from behind we get a bed made out of cedar and sandalwood, on which this love story between the yuzu and the fig note develops throughout the wearing. It's a very clean, very brightful, very playful, very luminous, very elegant, very comfortable fragrance in its behavior, or at least this is what happens on my skin. I don't know on other people's skin what their perception is, but on my skin this is what happens. It's excellent, it's beautiful, it's the one of the best fragrances if you want for holidays, for example, because every single time that I wear this fragrance I see myself being back in Italy, being back on the Mediterranean Sea, or being in Greece and whatnot, doesn't matter, somewhere in the Mediterranean area. This is where I go with my mind every single time that I wear this amazing fragrance. In terms of performance, this one on my skin stays 14 hours in terms of longevity. Longevity means from the first moment you apply the fragrance on your skin up until the last moment that you can still smell it on your skin. And in my case, this is a 14-hour period. In terms of projection, for the first 3 hours, it projects really, really great, really good, strong. Afterwards, I get about 5 hours of moderate projection and then 2 hours of light projection. So 10 hours out of 14, this fragrance projects on my skin. That's why I don't know why a lot of people say that they have poor performance, poor projection from this fragrance. It doesn't happen on my skin, so I'm more than happy to be one of those people who enjoy actually this fragrance, and I do enjoy it a lot. I can have enough out of it. Very beautiful creation from the house of Caron. I highly recommend this fragrance if you are looking for this type of fragrance. I highly encourage you to give a try to all the fragrances that the house of Caron has produced up until today. And I also see this fragrance being worn actually every single day. It's an all year round type of fragrance. It's very flexible. It's also very, let's say, good for different scenarios, casually. I don't know, you can also dress it up if you want for a formal occasion, because it smells that good. Also, I do believe it's best suited for both younger crowds and also for a more mature audience. So not a problem at all. It's not a expensive fragrance, it's quite cheap. That's why I highly recommend you to give it a try, give it a sniff, see how it performs on your skin, how the smell of this fragrance turns out on your skin. And if you like it, then I highly encourage you to go ahead and buy a full bottle. From me, it gets a very, very good recommendation. One of the best fresh fragrances, fresh fruity fragrances that I ever smelled and owned in my whole life. And this is a lot. I'm done here, guys. I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Until then, as always, be safe, be good. Peace.